restorative all levels practice that will help kind of literally restore your body and give you more energy, well, you've come to the right class. I'm Morgan, I'm a registered dietitian and yoga teacher, and today it will be helpful if you have a block. If you don't have a block, that's okay too, and I'll give you some prop modifications for that. Otherwise, and then a wall space, or if you don't have a wall that's free and clear, you can also just bring your knees up on a chair, or when we get to that part, you're basically just want to be elevated to some extent. I've even kind of done this actually with my legs up on couches, on stairs, anything that I can elevate my legs and sort of replenish and get some of that lactic acid out is really helpful. So we're actually going to start. So this is going to be restorative for also a little bit chest and then hips. So the first thing that we're going to do for the chest is start to get into the connective tissue and the fascia. Now if you don't have a block, that is okay. You can also just start to do this kind of on a foam roller. You can also do it on any kind of firm towel roll if you have that as well. But you're going to bring the block to your hip, right at your hip point. And from there, you're just going to, at the low level, and then you're just going to start to rock forward and back. And again, this is going to get into some of that connective tissue. You have the foam roller, same thing, you would just walk forward and back. And then you're going to start to work your way up the side body. I like to kind of prop my head up and again start to rock and roll. Now at some point you're going to need to turn the foam roller or the block on the medium setting to get into some of that tissue a little bit more. So when you're ready, you can kind of rotate it and the same thing, wiggle back and forth. And this helps to create a lot of space in your rib cage, so you can take really full and expansive breaths, which help rejuvenate the body because you're oxygenating it, but also it helps to slow down your nervous system. So we have that fight or flight response, and by taking deep breaths, we can learn how to kind of balance that out just a bit. And then you're going to go all the way up in towards your armpit. And then switching sides. So take that block again down by your hips, rock forward and back. Or again, foam roller or whatever is accessible. And you might notice that a particular area is sticky or tight. Feel free to kind of hang out earlier in that vicinity. Moving the block up just a bit. Oh my gosh, I think it's time for a nap practically. Notice what you notice and feel all of the little sensations. And then take the block up one level. Same thing, rock forward and back, and side to side. Be sure to rock kind of all the way back so you're in the back part of the body. And if you don't have a block and you just want to kind of fast forward, can we get to more of the other parts? That is totally okay too, but this, I cannot emphasize enough, is insanely therapeutic. And if you think about how we've evolved, we used to be kind of humans that would reach and stretch and be able to kind of stretch out our lats and side body. And now we're just constantly hunched over. And so these little areas do not get worked out. I really like to come into child's pose before and after this and notice the difference. And then inhale, come up. And now set the block aside. Do come into child's pose, but let your knees be really, really wide. Your big toes touch. And walk your hands out, but then make a little pillow and lower your forehead on your hands. And we're going to be here for several breaths, so do your best. Breathe into your back body. If you do have that block and you want to make it more supportive, you can always bring that block right underneath your sternum. And same thing, just fold it forward. Inhale. Work your way back up. Set the block aside if you've used it. If not, no worries. And then from here, coming into pigeon pose. So your left knee can come behind your left wrist. Start to walk your right leg back. And same thing here, you can use that sternum support with the block, or you can just fold forward. Breathe into that outer hip. Let go of your jaw. Let your shoulders sink. No work here. Inhale, work your way up. Set the block aside. Come into the second side. So right knee behind your right wrist. Walk your left leg back. Stretch your chest forward. Inhale, work your way up. We're going to find your way into a supported bridge. So if you don't have that block, you're going to bring a pillow underneath your hips. You can also find that supported bridge at the wall, and your feet would just push into the wall and your hips lift off of the wall. You can find a traditional bridge if you want something that isn't as in the supported realm. So if you have the block, you're going to bring it to your low back and kind of wiggle yourself up there. Arms can go overhead. You can stay with your feet planted, or you can start to walk your feet out. And if you need to lengthen out your low back, push the block down and start to wiggle yourself up a bit. This helps to lengthen your hip flexors and quads. From here, start to walk your feet in, hug your knees in on the block, and maybe keep your legs here or extend them straight up. This would also be where you can take your legs up the wall with your hips all the way against your wall. And placing your feet back down, lay on your back for Shavasana. Stay here as long as you need. And if you have to move on to the next thing, so be it. But do take the time to integrate and to breathe and to relax. And if you're in Shavasana, close your eyes. And let everything start to get heavy. Flutter your eyes open. Roll over off to one side and make your way into a comfortable seat. Bring your hands at your heart center. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, surrender the weight of your pelvis down. Send gratitude to yourself, someone that you love and care about, and to someone that challenges you. May this practice be restorative and give you exactly what you needed in this moment. Namaste.